What's up, everybody? It's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another banger Robert Graham shirt. Thanks, Poshmark. So, today we are getting back into the skincare realm, and we thought it would be cool to do a video on just really kind of the basics of what really is a good skincare routine. And since we're talking skincare, we have on board a professional, licensed esthetician. Please welcome. I was gonna say we could just be sitting, but
I want to do something silly.
Welcome back. For all of you who don't what words? Who? I'm supposed to do that.
Sorry. I don't want to take your mojo.
For those of you who don't know, this is my partner Allie, and they recently became a licensed esthetician. So yeah, if you're looking for professional skincare advice, an Esty is the person that you want to ask.
Your Esty bestie.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who can be your Esty bestie, sorry.
Wow.
What's the matter with me today? I'm saucy.
Yeah, so Allie's probably gonna do most of the talking during this video. Well, I mean, you're the one answering questions. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about, you know, like I said before, the basics, and then we actually have some questions from viewers as well. Are we mirroring?
I'm following your lead. You're the professional.
Am I? Yeah, starting from the beginning. Yeah, so if somebody asks, you know, what is a good skincare routine?
Oh gosh.
What does that mean to you? Or where should someone who's new to the skincare realm, who is probably overwhelmed by the millions of products available in any store, and is intimidated and has no idea what to buy, but they're trying to do better for their skin, where's a good place to start?
So anytime I see a new client, or I see any client, whether they're returning to me or they're new, the first thing I ask is, what is your skincare concern? And so people will say acne, dark circles, wrinkles, you know, so start with that. What is your skincare concern? And there's hundreds and thousands of ingredients that can target your skincare concern. But not just every ingredient is gonna work for you based on your skin type. So here's a couple things. Will you demonstrate for me, my lovely assistant?
Oh, sure.
So, couple things to determine your skin, what your skin needs, what your skin really wants, is to do a few tests. So the first would be to kind of like pinch your forehead and see those lines that create there. If they take a while, not a while, like more than a half a second to snap back, that could be a sign of dehydration in your skin. There's a big difference between dehydrated and dry skin. We'll get to that later. But if your skin is dehydrated and it doesn't snap back really quickly, and like, you know, you raise your forehead, you get wrinkles and they don't go back right away, could be a sign of dehydration. Okay. In that case, moisture. Moisture!
Assume that goes with like drinking water too, not just applying moisture to your face.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
To some degree.
To some degree, drink your water. But even if you drink enough, that doesn't necessarily mean your skin is going to be hydrated enough. So that's one of them. The second thing, look at your pore size. Now, the pores on the forehead, the nose, and the chin, that's called your T-zone. If those pores are on the bigger side, they look really like deep and round like an orange, you have oily skin. So if you have oily skin, you may be tempted to not moisturize because your skin always feels heavy and oily and shiny, and you're like, if I put moisture on, it's gonna be worse. No! Well, it may feel worse for a bit, but really all skin wants moisture, whether it's dry, normal, oily, or some combination of it. Moisture, moisture, moisture. The more you take moisture out, the more oil your skin is going to try to produce. So if you're oily and you avoid moisture, it's gonna create more oil, making you feel more oily, leading to more problems. So always moisture.
Because your skin's gonna try to overcompensate.
Exactly.
Because it's like, well, I'm not gonna get moisture, so I better just make an oil slick.
Exactly. Versus maybe dry skin. Or normal skin, we call it. It's not really oily, it's not really dry. You'll see the pores, but they'll be pretty small in size. Versus dry skin, you really won't see the pores at all. They're gonna be minuscule to invisible. So in that case, guess what you need?
Moisture.
So that's determining your skin type in the T-zone. Look at your cheeks as well though. Are they dry? Are they normal? Are they oily? If you're oily all over, that's an oily skin type. A lot of people think they're oily because they don't moisturize enough. So say if you're oily on your T-zone, but you're kind of normal or dry on the cheeks, that's combination. So that's what they mean in the drugstore when you see like for combination skin. You have some combination, whether it's oily here or oily on your cheeks or your chin and dry on your forehead, who knows. Then normal is not particularly oily, not particularly dry. That's if you have normal skin, oh boy, life is easy for you.
You got some good genes.
And then dry skin. It's gonna feel tight, it's gonna feel flaky. It's just gonna need a lot of help because what dry skin is lacking really is oil.
So not just moisture, but it's actually not even producing enough natural oil to keep up with itself.
So if you've determined your skin type, you've determined your major skin concerns, you can also do, like when I see a client, I will kind of like just pinch around their skin, feel how elastic it is, take a look at their pore size, and just touch it. You know, some people come to see me at the end of their day, and when, you know, you're at the end of the day, you've been out and about and you've been working, and so your face is going to feel in its most natural state. So taking a look at it, feeling it really determines what the skin needs.
Okay, and then from there you can start to narrow your range of products that you might be interested in.
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah. So if you want to start with just a cleanser and a moisturizer for your skin type, that's a great place to start. Okay. You can add serums and eye creams and toners and all this other stuff later, kind of once you determine the base, but that's a great place to start. And this has to be said, SPF is your best friend. It doesn't matter if you're as white as me or as dark as skin tones get, you need SPF. It is the #1 defense against premature aging. Sun exposure creates premature aging, wrinkles, freckling. The risk for skin cancer is dramatically increased, so wear your SPF. You'll look younger longer wearing your SPF.
Everybody cooks when they go out in the sun.
Yes. Even if you think, oh no, I don't burn, I tan, your skin is still cooking.
You're still, things are happening to your cells.
Mm-hmm. So what it is, how like skin cancer proliferates is, say you get a burn or a tan, a deep tan. When your skin cells replicate, they're replicating that burnt or tanned skin. Okay. And it's damaged at some degree. So when it replicates those damaged cells, the likelihood for skin cancer really increases. So SPF is super important. And I don't mean to say it to scare you, but
wear your damn SPF.
Like skin cancer runs in my family. I'm obviously like very pale, so I burn very easily. Everybody's at risk.
Okay, so cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. Yeah. That's the baseline.
And some moisturizers even come with SPF built in. I know CeraVe has a great one. A lot of like drugstore brands like La Roche-Posay. There's some good ones that come with SPF. So actually that leads us really nicely into our questions.
Yeah, it's a perfect place to transition. All right, so let me pull out my phone. So we do have a few viewer questions. Yeah, so let's start with this one because this is right where we left off. Any good recommendations on an SPF that isn't too expensive?
Ooh, very good.
I mean, well, because let's think about it this way. You can, if you go to the whatever drugstore, Target, Walmart, somewhere, you'll find all kinds of sunscreens and various versions of SPF, most of which are like, when you go to the beach, it's sports, sports, sweat won't come off. Those, I would say, aren't great for your face.
So they're too heavy, too oily, and you're just gonna feel gross. So like for a good everyday one, it's really the CeraVe. SPF is great. Ulta has one called Super Goop. It's a nice clear sunscreen, so anybody with like a little more darker skin complexion, you're not gonna get that white cast on your face. So really any SPF at the drugstore that's for the face, I would say SPF 30 and above would be good for you. There's a lot of different brands now that are creating sunscreen sunscreens that are for all skin colors that won't give you that chalky look. There is one brand a friend told me about. It's called Black Girl Sunscreen, and it's formulated for people with darker skin tones to not leave that white cast.
And I guess in terms of expensive, I mean, it can range anywhere. Like I have a 50 SPF from Kiehl's that I think was like $60 for a 3.5 ounce bottle. So to most people, that's going to seem a little scary at first because it's a lot of money. But you do use such a small amount of it that, like, I've had this bottle for, I don't know, 6 months, and I'm like maybe halfway through it. But with that being said, you can certainly find some that I would say are $20-ish, maybe even a little bit less if you want to go the drugstore route.
Yeah, like a CeraVe mineral sunscreen is $18.49 at my local CVS.
So, and the mineral sunscreens are the ones that tend to have more of a white cast because that's a physical, like, glittery mineral in there that's reflecting the sunlight.
Exactly.
Versus, what are the other ones called? Chemical sunscreen?
It's called a chemical sunscreen. Okay. So the difference with that is a chemical sunscreen will absorb the sun rays as heat and then push them off of your skin. So you may feel a bit warmer if you're out in the sun and you're using a chemical sunscreen, because it is converting that UV ray into heat. Okay. So it's dispersing the dangerous rays, but it will make you feel a little toasty.
Okay, all right.
Versus the mineral one that creates like a barrier. Between your skin and the UV rays.
Okay, Faraz says, I want to see the effects of essential oils on irritation or sensitization. All the men's marketed brands have essential oils for the face or beard, especially if you're using an SPF. So I guess really that boils down to some face products and beard products have essential oils in them. Is that really doing anything? Is there really a benefit to essential oils, or like what could they potentially be doing for your skin?
Well, okay, so essential oils, not like essential vitamins and minerals. They don't need them for your body. It's the essence of the oil. It's the scent essence. So it's capturing the scent of whatever ingredient it is and putting it in the product. So it's really more for scent.
Okay. See, I didn't know that at first, because when you see the word essential, you think like, oh, I need it. I need those. But really, so
I love my lavender.
If you have lavender essential oil, it's gonna smell like lavender.
Some essential oils can be good. Like lavender is calming, so it may calm the skin a little bit, but essential oil alone is not really gonna give you too many skin benefits other than scent.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that some essential oils in too big a concentration can actually be very detrimental to your skin. So, like, don't be pouring out some essential oil and rub it on your face because you'll have a bad time.
Yeah, it can be so concentrated that it can cause a burn, like a chemical burn. So you need a carrier oil. Like grapeseed oil is a great carrier oil. So it's, maybe like a handful of the oil to maybe 2 or 3 drops of essential oil is a good ratio for if you wanted to put oil on yourself in some manner.
Okay. Jason says, I had a skincare routine and tried so many products and kept having adult acne issues. I ended up just stopping to wash my face day and night and stopped using moisturizer, and my skin stopped breaking out, is in better shape. Did I do something wrong? Why is my skin seemingly better off without washing and moisturizer?
That's a great question. You could be more on the sensitive side and everything you were using was just too strong for you. Could have been that, maybe you were using an oily formulated product and maybe you have more drier skin. So it's hard to say exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I dealt with growing up though. Like throughout high school and college in my early 20s, I had like pretty bad acne. And I tried all kinds of shit. I tried a million different products. I tried, what the hell was the name of that shit that was on TV? Proactive or whatever. And so I can definitely say that I had similar issues when, I didn't really know what my skin needed. So I was probably using face washes that were way too strong and were drying out my skin. And then maybe moisturizers that were too heavy and were too oily or not moisturizing enough, or so it really
Proactive is very heavy in salicylic acid, and that is
very drying.
It's extremely drying. I mean, it'll dry out your pimples, but it's going to dry out the rest of your skin too.
Yeah. So I think that really comes back to you need to determine what skin type you have and what you really need, and then you can have products that would have a positive effect versus, you know, maybe the opposite of what you would be expecting from them.
And if you're really struggling, it's super important to see a dermatologist. It could be something hormonal going on within you, or, you know, something as extreme as like an infection.
Yeah.
In your skin?
I mean, that was really, I struggled for a long time until I finally went to a dermatologist. And even then, we tried a few different products that would work a little bit and not work. And eventually I went the Accutane route, which is like the last option.
It's like a nuclear bomb.
It's an insane, terrifying medication, but it worked. And so now I just have an upkeep routine. So yeah, definitely if you're struggling, do not be afraid to go see a dermatologist.
But I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you were trying different things, and your skin didn't like them for whatever reason. So no harm to keep trying. Maybe try something a lot more gentle, a lot with no fragrances or dyes. That's probably a good place to start. Maybe just 1 or 2 products to try to build a skincare routine again.
Next up, we have a question from Carson. Can you be allergic to AHA or BHA to the point where it's just better to use scrubs because men's skin is about 20% thicker than women's skin? Well, so I guess first we should go over what AHA and BHA are.
An alpha hydroxy acid and a beta hydroxy acid, these are both chemical exfoliants. So you may know an exfoliant as something rough and gritty you wash your face with to scrub away dead skin cells. That is a physical exfoliant. AHAs and BHAs are chemical exfoliants. Can you be allergic to them? I suppose, just like anything else, but...
So, now what is the difference between an AHA and a BHA? Is one stronger than the other?
Well, not really. An AHA is targeted for more people with like dry and like rough skin, and a BHA is better for people with oily skin. Most products that have an AHA or BHA use a little bit of both.
So to make it a little more universal.
Yeah. But yeah, can you be allergic to it? Maybe.
It's not impossible.
Not impossible. Right? Unlikely. It could just be that it's too strong for your skin. Your skin doesn't like it. And, you know, exfoliating too much thins your skin and it creates more problems than it solves. So, better to use physical scrubs. If you find that your skin reacts better to it, then yeah, it's definitely better for you. Chemical exfoliants can be too strong for some people. And, you know, when you say chemical, it's like everything's a chemical. Water is a chemical. So don't freak out, oh my God, I'm putting chemicals on my face. And as far as men's skin being 20% thicker, I guess.
Is that scientifically accurate? I know that's advertised by a lot of brands. And they're like, yeah, men's skin, you need rough, just put sandpaper on your face.
Like the layers of the skin are so microscopically layered that a 20% difference is pretty insignificant of a difference, and it really comes down to hormones.
Okay, aside from showering and staying clean throughout the day, what is the best way to treat forearm acne?
Like here?
Yeah. That's the forearm.
Any body acne can be treated with a physical or chemical exfoliant. Start with something really gentle, like a rice bran or an oat bran physical exfoliator. Start with something like that, just making sure you rinse it off really well. And I would say maybe 2 or 3 times a week, try it. Don't go for the apricot scrub. I know it's super tempting.
Don't do it.
It's super tempting to get that nice, rough, gritty, you're really scrubbing and getting the good stuff in there. The problem with apricot, walnut, nutmeg scrubs, they're too coarse and they can create micro tears in the skin, which can introduce more bacteria and infection and create more problems in the long run. So please don't use any nut-based exfoliant. I'm looking at you, Kylie Skin.
Yeah, Kylie. We don't want your nuts, all right?
And Saint
and
Ivan.
Oh, Saint Ives.
Can't sit with us.
Avoid that bitch. Okay. Sandy says, what exfoliant products are actually good for dealing with pimples on sensitive skin? I want to clear out the gunk but not get inflammation. So similar, along the same lines.
If you're not sensitive to wheat, you know, celiac or gluten sensitivity, start with like an oat or a wheat-based exfoliator. They're very gentle. They're calming, like an oatmeal type scrub. They're very calming. And look for things that have chamomile, lavender. That's going to calm the skin too and still give you a nice little exfoliation.
Nice. Okay. How do toners work?
How do toners work?
Or I guess...
They work really hard.
Why would someone use a toner? What's its purpose?
So the skin has a natural pH of 4 to 5. It's slightly acidic. So using soaps and creams and everything can throw off the pH a little bit. So a toner returns the skin to its natural pH. And keeping the skin at a natural pH keeps it happy, keeps problems from forming. So that's what toners do. Okay. However, a toner can be too acidic. Like witch hazel, I know is like the go-to like natural toner. It can be too strong and drying for some people. So you want to go with things a little more gentle. Witch hazel can be a little too strong.
I guess follow-up question would be at which point or which step in your skincare routine is the appropriate time to apply a toner?
Okay, so basic skincare routine: cleanse, exfoliate, tone. Then comes your finishing products: serums, eye creams, moisturizers, and SPF.
Okay. Should I be applying sunscreen before I go to bed? I don't know if this is a Jape question or not, but...
You silly goose.
But no, because typically when you go to bed, you're not in the sunlight.
Well,
I mean, you could be going to bed when it's daytime out if you work the night shift or something, but you probably have some blackout curtains.
No reason to put on sunscreen before going to bed. Only in the morning you do need your SPF.
Do products with salicylic acid really help people with bumpy skin conditions like keratosis pilaris?
Keratosis pilaris is when like the plug of hair follicles gets like inflamed and the hair can't get out and it causes kind of an ingrown-ish situation. Can salicylic acid help? I would go more for a physical exfoliant for that one. Keep the skin, the top layer of skin called the horny layer. Keep that nice and thin so any oil secretions or sebum secretions have somewhere to escape. It's with keratosis pilaris or any other bumpy skin condition where it's getting trapped, it's creating those bumps. So I wouldn't say salicylic acid, I would say more so AHAs or BHAs might help with that too. Okay.
And our final question, any suggestions on products for cheek acne? Which I guess could be... That's where things get a little difficult to diagnose because your cheek acne could be caused by any number of issues.
It could be inflamed from your diet. It could be hormonal. It could be your pillowcase is dirty, and when you sleep, it's collecting all that oil and gunk and grossness. So I would knock those out of the realm of possibility first. Change your pillow sheet maybe every 2 or 3 days. A silk pillow sheet is very good for the skin. It doesn't absorb as much oil. See if that helps. Maybe seeing a dermatologist to see if they can diagnose it as something that's happening within you that's causing it. Or I always go back to the gentle exfoliators. Give that a try, see if that helps clear it up. And anything that I'm recommending, of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm an esthetician, so this is just recommendations. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. I can't promise it's going to work for you. Only a dermatologist can make those determinations. But anything you do try, give it a good month to work. Be consistent with it. You know, if you skip a day, try to get back on it. You really want to do a whole month to see good results with anything new you're trying with your skin.
I can vouch for that. Consistency is key, and things don't happen overnight.
No.
So it's, you know, while you use something new, you might notice a slight difference after a few days or a week or something, but you're really going to notice if it's really going to make a difference after several weeks. So keep up on it.
Because the cell turnover rate in your skin, so when your skin produces new skin cells and it's kind of pushing away the old skin, creating new skin, can be like 28 to 35 days depending on your age. So wait that amount of time before you start to see good results.
Good to know. I didn't know that.
Also, when starting a new skincare routine, there is such a thing called skin purging. So everything you're going to be using in your skincare routine can speed up the cell turnover rate. So if you are using a new skincare routine, you're a week in and you're like, oh my god, I'm breaking out. It could be your skin purging and saying, oh, finally, we're able to get rid of all that shit. So pushing out all this stuff might take another week for it to clear up, but your skin is going to be happy to kind of purge all of the yuck that's been stuck in there. So don't give up right away if you see your skin breaks out with a new skincare routine. It could be a good thing.
Yeah, so that wraps things up for our viewer questions. It's also it's a lot. So we covered a lot of information. It's also hot down here, so we're sweating. Yeah, but I'd say that was we got a lot of good information for people who need some skincare advice out there. So any final nuggets of knowledge that you would like to add before we say goodbye?
You know, if all else fails, go see an esthetician. Your local spa, nail salon, hair salon, med spa, dermatologist office may have an esthetician there. You can even do a consultation with them. Most of them will offer it for free just to take a look at your skin, recommend some products. We are there for you. We want to help you with your skin. And try a facial. I mean, it may be like $100 to $150, but it's kind of like going to the dentist. You can brush your teeth every day and have fine teeth, but every 6 months or so you really need a good deep clean, and that's kind of what an esthetician is for your skin. It's going to give you that good deep clean. We use professional products that are more concentrated, have higher quality ingredients, and you're going to see a better result if you see an esthetician a couple times a year. We're happy to see you.
Yeah. And don't fall into the stereotypes that facials are just for women. It'll change your life. It's also very relaxing. So.
It's super relaxing. It's time for you just to take care of yourself. It's an hour where you get to close your eyes and lay down and not think of the trouble of the world, and you walk out feeling more clean and beautiful. So what's so wrong about that?
Who doesn't want to be beautiful? So that about wraps things up for this video, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this and found it informational. Plenty more skincare stuff coming up in the future. We also are planning in the near future to do a little bit of an expose on the sketchy skincare, terrible crusty ads on Instagram and other places. So
can't wait for that.
Be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you so much for coming by and watching. And we'll see y'all at the next one.